And now back to live coverage right here on the Community Radio Network, the home of your Clayton Comets.
Welcome back to CRN coverage after our commercial timeout. 5:30 remaining in the fourth. It is 46-9. We're going to take you to the home stretch of this game to the finish. Brian Snow, Petey Doris down on the sidelines. Wesley Outland here with you for our coverage. Remember to follow us at crnsports.org, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. And, of course, to the 30.
That's Sawyer.
Yeah.
On the carry. Jaden Moore on the stop. Third down, and I'm going to call this 16 with 4:59 left in the ball game. As Sawyer tried to get them to jump offside. He didn't. Now he looks to the sideline. They're just going to use as much clock as they possibly can. Johnson stands to the right of Sawyer, two receivers left and right. And here's Amir Johnson running off left tackle. Bust free! Outside 40, 45, 50. Cuts inside and wrestled down to the 45-yard line. And if that doesn't put this game in the book, nothing else will. They had him second down and 33. Had him third down and 12, and they allow Amir Johnson to get 22 yards.
Well, at least he didn't score.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
At least we can say a positive from this is he did not score.
He did not score there, but
got to find something comical out of this train wreck, so to speak.
Well, the train wreck has come with the Comets defense, and that's just purely fatigue. But when you allow 545 yards of offense, you're going to have some problems. Johnson again up the middle, gets a couple.
Petey Doris will be down on the sidelines for the kickoff of our Unforgettables pre-game wrap-up, or post-game wrap-up.
Better not be a pre-game
wrap-up. We're going to do this all over again, brother. The post-game wrap-up coming up, and he'll have an interview with Scott Riley, head coach of the Cleveland Rams, as they move to now 3-0 in the conference, 8-1 on the season.
And they have basically wrapped up the conference title.
And, of course, Clayton going to 4-5 overall, 2-1 in the conference after this loss. We'll get interviews with both coaches, a couple of player interviews possibly along the way. Unforgettables post-game wrap-up coming up after the Rams continue playing offense up the field. Number 2, he gets juke and jive and dropped at Sawyer.
And Sawyer gets 15 more.
Isaiah Sawyer, number 8 with the carry.
Got to consider him for one of the offensive players of the game also. But it's been all Rams. They get 14 in the first quarter.
3:05 in regulation.
14,
here we go.
They get 14 in the first quarter. Comets come back, get a field goal. Amari and Hampton gives the Comets a 58-yard touchdown to extend the lead for the Rams. As Sawyer waits in shotgun formation. He takes the belt high snap and hands it to A.J. Amir Johnson kicking it to the outside. Big yards again. He's out of here.
Touchdown and score. No, he's just shy. Nope, they're going to call touchdown to the end zone.
And they're going to call a roughing penalty.
Touchdown on Amir Johnson, the 5'9", 155 junior, number 4 for the Rams. And this doesn't just add more insult to injury now. I don't know what will. Now we got 53-9.
27-yard touchdown. It is 52-9 with 2:35 left.
They score this field goal, it'll be 53-9. Looks like they're going for it. They've suffered though on some of their field goal kicks or extra points.
Amari Hampton will be one of our guests at the end of tonight's ball game, and
Hampton.
He's one of our. May as well go ahead and anoint him now. One of our offensive players of the game.
He is our CRN player of the week for sure in this game.
18 carries, 243 yards, 2 touchdowns. Snap is back.
Kick
down.
up. Will it go through the uprights? Yes, it will. It is now 53-9. Comets going to try to score again on a kickoff. 2:35 remaining in regulation. 53-9. The Rams have just came into Clayton and have just,
Yeah, they took over. And I'll say it again, that first quarter rush is where this all started. Because the Rams get stopped on the first drive of the game. Rams get stopped. Clayton could not take advantage.
that's right.
And they go 3 and out. And then the Rams just march it down the field. And as far as the Rams are concerned, it's been on ever since. It was 20-9 in the second quarter, folks. 20-9 in the second quarter.
Down by 11.
They were in this ball game.
In the hunt, so to speak.
They were in this ball game, and now a couple of penalties have moved the ball all the way to the Clayton 45-yard line.
53-9 the score. This game, you could call an exclamation point on being done, but
And I'll tell you the play of the
it's
game.
not over till the whistle blows.
I will tell you the play of the game was the onside kick. After the Rams scored to make it 7-0, they execute a perfect onside kick, and 3 plays later they were back in the end zone.
You think it's the onside kick? I believe that it steamrolled out of control when we saw the Rams offensively headbutt a couple of the Comet players. Robert Sesame became unglued, and then the referees did nothing about it except penalize Clayton. I think that's when the momentum train, in my opinion, began to shift.
And I'll give you a couple of other plays as this kick comes down into the end zone for a touchback.
And go ahead.
There was a fumble that was not called in the first quarter as well. There was a sack of Skylar Locklear. He dropped the ball. They said that he was down, but that was a clear fumble. We saw it from up here. Petey Doris saw it from the sideline. We'll talk to Petey after the game. That was a clear fumble. It wasn't called. It allowed the Rams to keep the ball, and they eventually punched it in the end zone.
Coming up, interviews with Scott Riley, head coach of the Cleveland Rams, our player of the game, Marion Hampton, and the interview also with the coach of the Comets of Robert Sesame. Clayton will prepare to play Triple S next Friday night on the road in Smithfield. Preparing now for Comets to come back up the field. Open man is there. After Barber hands the ball off. Was that it was Hinton? Was it Hinton with the carry? Number 24? Hinton goes upfield. And the things that we're seeing now, too little, too late. We should have had in the first half.
When they got the stop to open the game, because they elected to put their defense on the field. When they got the stop after the 3 and out, they didn't take advantage and they couldn't get the ball downfield.
Ready to go again.
And now you're playing against basically the second string.
And
you don't want to say that, but it's the truth. You're playing against the second string.
The up-and-coming players, so to speak.
6-yard gain that time. 2nd and 4 from the 40 and 95 seconds remaining. And we'll throw it down to Petey Doris right after the ball game. We'll try to we'll have our analysis up here, then we'll throw it down to Petey Morris when he gets our player of the game in Amari Hampton.
Post-game wrap-up presented by Unforgettables.
Out of the eye. This time the running back comes in, and he is whacked right there, a loss of 3. And
that was
10 remaining.
That was Hinton there with the carry. Moss actually carrying the ball for Clayton. And they've changed up things as well.
Yeah, they have.
Different players in different positions playing, but again, too little, too late for Clayton as we're under a minute remaining in regulation.
Stuck with the
and
philosophy.
This nightmare will hopefully come to an end here in Clayton.
Stuck with the philosophy too long.
53-9. The Rams will go to the number 1 seed in the Greater News 3A Conference title. Clayton will at least settle for the first place loser at second. And then moving up the field goes Hinton. Hinton with a carry at midfield. He's still got 4, 5, 6 defenders of the Rams bringing him down. A car crash at midfield, finally.
15-yard gain for Hinton and a first down.
And the clock ticks away. 19 seconds remaining in regulation, and it looks like
that's going to be it.
This is going to end it.
So
I don't think we're going to go to timeouts.
So congrats to the Cleveland Rams as they will lock down the conference championship.
3 seconds, 2 seconds, trying to snap the ball. They will before it goes off in the whistle. Throwing it deep, and no one's there, trying to throw it out of bounds. Number 1, Davian Williams trying to get the carry and make something happen before the end of the whistle, but that will wrap up the game. Final score here at Nixon Fowler Stadium. The Comets fall to the Cleveland Rams in the Greater News 3A, 53-9.
All Rams here tonight. That first quarter, when they went up 14-0, and the Comets were only able to respond with a field goal. And then the Rams responded with a 52-yard touchdown run, making it 20-9. And the Comets responded. Jalen Chadwick races 80 yards for a touchdown, making it 20-9, I beg your pardon. But then it was all Rams after that. They punched it. They got a touchdown before the half. Couldn't tack on a field goal. Second half began with the Comets taking possession because they deferred the kick, or they deferred the coin toss, I beg your pardon, and they wanted the ball to start the second half. They couldn't take advantage, and lights out after that.
P.D. Doris will be heading down here in a moment to grab an interview with not only Robert Cessany of the Comets, but the winning coach of tonight's game between the Rams and the Comets, of course, head coach of Scott Riley. P.D. is just wandering on the field. He's the guy in the khakis and the blue polo and the orange hat. Great game when it's all said and done, 53-9, a barn burner that everybody was looking forward to as a matchup.
Well, we got him now. Let's go downstairs to P.D. Doris with our Unforgettables player of the game.
And the player of the game, of course, is number 28, Marion Hampton. P.D., when you're ready.
With a big victory tonight on the road, your sophomore year, 18 carries, 243 yards, 13 yards per carry, and 2 touchdowns. Coming into this game, what was your game plan to get a nice road win and secure the first spot?
Just to do it best as I can, and then it's like a team thing, so we just the best as we can do as a team.
All right, going into next week, you guys are hit the road next week home, and you guys got basically one more win, and you guys lock up the first spot. How does that feel for you guys this year coming in?
It feels good. It feels good going into the season. But we just got a lot more work to do.
All right, there you go. Hampton with big carries, 243 yards, 2 touchdowns, average 13.5 yards per carry. Back up to you, Wesley.
The sophomore 6'2", 210 player, Marion Hampton, dominance here tonight.
18, you heard the numbers, 18 carries, 243 yards, 2 long touchdown runs, 52 on one, 72 on the other. He got them going early. He got them going very early. And let's throw a vote for player of the game to Skylar Locklear, who threw not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 touchdown passes tonight. And this Cleveland Ram offense unofficially finishes with 524 yards of offense here tonight.
We are rocking and rolling now in the Unforgettables post-game wrap-up. P.D. Doris is down on the sidelines grabbing interviews with players and coaches as this game has concluded. Final score, 53-9, as we're in a few moments going to go back down to the field as Petey will catch up an interview with, of course, head coach of the Rams, Scott Riley, and also Robert Cessany, as Cessany is downfield with the Clayton players, teams, families, like we've done, like I did when I was an alumni here at Clayton, down on the field. Words of encouragement after a heartbreak. Brian Snow, what do you say?
You know, they need words of encouragement. We're going to give them a few right now. With this conference championship now being decided, they can clear the deck and really start preparing for the final 2 games and give themselves a chance at 2 wins, number 1, and number 2, get themselves in a better situation and a better seeding for the drive to December and the football state tournament. But the Comets were playing well. They were playing very, very well until they ran into a buzzsaw. And they really ran into a buzzsaw tonight.